Perfect. Good evening, everyone. Whoa. Thank you for coming. We'll call this meeting to order at 7:01. And if we could all please stand for the flag salute. And Bill, will you lead us?
Pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Thank you.
Thank you. So is our secretary ready to read the mission statement?
I am. The Middletown Area Town Hall was formed to operate as a true town hall, with everyone participating in voting. However, county officials required us to elect a board to conform with other advisory committees. Our bylaws specify that the assembly makes the decisions based on the vote of everyone present. The board encourages all members to give their opinion and their vote on every matter before the assembly.
Thank you. And real quick, we'll go through just board introductions. Again, starting with Charlie on the end.
Charles Morse. Good to meet you. I don't know why. Yeah. Sure. Oh. I'm Charlie.
That's all you have to say is your name.
That's it.
I just want to make sure everybody knows who's sitting up here.
Nanette Donato.
Bill Waite.
Terry Ibarra.
And Monica Rosenthal. Thank you. And then for a moment of silence, does anyone have someone or group or an organization that they want us to think about for a few moments? Yes, Supervisor Helen?
Mr. Fred Deno passed away. Fred Deno. And that was, I don't have the exact date, but it was, I think it was in December. And I don't have the information on him, but he was a long time. Actually, he lived in Lower Lake, but his kids went to school here. And Barbara, his wife, worked at the school for a long time, Barbara Deno. And really good people. And I was able to get hold of his wife, Barbara, today. And so,
You need a...
Thank you, Mike. But, and that's right behind you from the gentleman, Thomas.
that was a definite.
Amateur here. I would like to dedicate my portion to Mr. Fred Deno of Lower Lake. His family grew up here, though, and I think probably many of you do know Fred that are in the room. And so.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Anyone else? James? I hear. Okay. Thinking about those in Minnesota. Okay, we'll take a moment. Thank you. Thank you. And I hope everybody had a nice holiday and Happy New Year. So move into 2026. This is our first agenda of the new year. Before approving the agenda, there is one item that I need to add to the bottom, to the end, the last item on our agenda under 10. After we announce the math board election results, we do need to move right in accordance with our bylaws. We need to move right into the election of 2 alternates for the 2026 year. So if I can add that to the bottom of the agenda along with item number 10, and if no one opposes, then I would entertain a motion to approve the agenda. Wait, I'm sorry. We need to use the mic.
Oh, you go first, madam.
Thanks.
I was under the impression, and I could be completely wrong because I know the bylaws have been revised, but my understanding was the 3 seats, whoever gets those, and then the last 2 are the alternates. Isn't that the case?
No.
No.
No, there, as the bylaw, and I do have a copy of the bylaws here, that, we'll get to that. Actually, I was going to kind of go over that just before the election. But basically, we hold the election, we have 3 seats. Yes, there are more those that are running than seats available. So those do have the option, but it's up to the body if they want to offer that to those 3 candidates to be the alternates.
Thank you.
So, and/or somebody could be nominated from the floor.
That's correct, Madam Chairman.
Thank you.
Item 2, approval of agenda. We have a conflict. At the last meeting, we set the agenda to reflect that the January agenda to place board elections immediately following public input to allow adequate candidate time. If the chair wants to jump the agenda, I'll make the motion to jump the agenda, but it's incorrect the way it is. Because the body voted on the agenda.
That's the one little bit of responsibility or authority that I have as the chair to set the agenda. And so that's what I did. And basically, again, it was because this body also had agreed to, I believe at the November meeting, had agreed that we would have Mr. Harris here to make a presentation on the art.
Sure.
And because of where he is located, we agreed with Lisa to post that at the top of the agenda so that Diego Harris can make the presentation and then be on his way.
I don't have a problem with any of that, other than either the minutes are wrong, or the agenda is wrong, or the chairperson on their own decided to change the agenda above the wishes of the body.
I'm not
Because we
sure.
passed at the agenda planning, I know because I made the motion to place the election immediately following public input, because in the past we've had trouble getting through the election in a reasonable amount of time. Now, if the chair wishes, I'll make a motion to jump the agenda to keep it as it is. But I just wanted to point out.
Yes, there is a reason why it's set the way that it is, and that's basically because of a commitment that was made to Lisa Kaplan from, I wasn't here at the November meeting, but I received information that this body did agree to have Diego Harris come and make a presentation, and it was basically promised, if you will, to set him at the front of the agenda so he didn't have to stay through the meeting because he does live elsewhere.
I make a motion
So-
that we jump the agenda to.
Thank you.
Your comments are noted, Foster.
Don't pull that crap with me.
You asked it to
I've,
be.
I've
you
got the
asked that it be
floor. I've got the
noted.
floor.
Okay.
And
You
all I'm
asked that
trying
it
to
Okay.
be
do is
noted,
get
and I
the.
agreed with you.
Okay, let's move on if we could, because we are wasting
No,
time.
no, I made a motion. I'm
Thank you.
making a motion to
Second.
jump the agenda to follow what the chairperson has reflected.
Second.
Then it's correct.
I second it,
Then it's correct. As presented?
as presented.
Okay, thank you. Okay. Okay, so we have a first and we have a second to approve the agenda as presented, and I'm assuming that that also includes the addition of election of the alternates.
Correct.
Along with number 10.
For my second, anyway.
Okay? All in favor?
Aye.
Thanks. Anyone opposed? Okay, one hand in the back that's opposed, or were there 2 back there? Because they usually vote a lot. Just one, okay. One opposed.
Noted.
Okay, so noted. All right, so public input, please. And we do need to use the mic, if you would. If you have a public announcement, 3 minutes, please come on up to the mic.
Happy New Year, Math Assembly. Margot Kambara. On Tuesday, Lake County Board of Supervisors proclaimed January 2026 as Human Trafficking Awareness Month in Lake County. Polly Klaus Foundation will present How to Stay Safe Online and in the Real World. The presentation location for Middletown area is Middletown Middle School on Tuesday, January 27th. Dinner will be served at 5:30. Presentation begins at 6 p.m. The presentation is open to the public and is appropriate for youth aged 12 to 16 years. The evening's program includes gift cards, door prizes, and free childcare. Topics include real consequences of sexting and sex trafficking, dangers of running away, and how to spot the red flags of online behavior. Program sponsors include Club of Lakeport Rotary, Kelseyville Sunrise Rotary, Club of Clear Lake Rotary. School sponsors include Upper Lake Unified School District, Lakeport Unified School District, Middletown Unified School District, Kelseyville Unified School District, Canocti Unified School District, and Lake County Office of Education. Another partner organization is the Lake Family Resource Center. The presentation will be in Spanish, and that is scheduled for Friday, January 30th at Canocti Unified Obsidian Middle School. Thank you for your consideration.
Thank you. Charlie?
Hi, I brought this up last month about code enforcement.
And you are Charlie?
Charles Morse.
Thank
Okay,
you.
I brought this up about code enforcement last month. It's really important that we take a good look at code enforcement and what's changing. Okay, it's very possible they could start using, folks can start using code enforcement to basically harass you. I can only give you one example. I tried to make this point last month. I even brought up a few names of how it happens. When I came back from Iraq, a couple of my neighbors were playing this code enforcement game and calling the cops on each other and it's been successful in the past. Harass your neighbor out of the neighborhood, use the government to do it, take their place, sell it for a profit. That's what happens. It's ugly. It got to the point where these two people were trying to kill each other. I came back from the war and they said, hey, Charlie, you just came back from the war. You're used to killing people. Why don't you go kill my neighbor because I don't like that neighbor anymore. I called code enforcement. They're sick of looking at me. I called the cops. They're sick of looking at me and I don't like this guy. This is a really serious thing. I want everybody to be able to protect themselves. And I really wish that somebody would have put that into this newsletter, but the Earth Town Hall, they gave a good presentation on how to protect yourself from this bullshit, okay? Because it gets ugly, okay? It gets really, really, really ugly when people are fighting and they're using the government to do it. You have your rights and you can be protected. There was a really good presentation that I asked to be a link to be put on here that's on PEG TV. It was on the 12th of December and it was at the Earth Town Hall down at the Moose Lodge, okay? And I really hope that somebody starts looking at this. I don't want to see this get out of hand. It's what the good old boys were doing years and years ago, and it's what they will do again if they get away with it. And it's up to us as math to let you know that you have rights and you can protect yourself. That's all I got.
Okay.
Maybe next month we can get it in this.
Minutes?
Okay, so I'll get with you offline about a link or whatever. Okay, thank you.
Okay,
I sent
Nanette.
you the link last month, Monica.
Okay, I'm sorry. I was sick. I'm sorry.
Nanette Donato. I'm here to talk about the parking committee meeting. We have a newly formed committee for parking in Middletown, looking at some ideas. There were 4 of us that met at the Stonehouse Restaurant to talk about parking to help businesses in Middletown, because the better the parking we have, the more businesses will come. We discussed some different liabilities such as lighting, insurance, cost to build, signage, price of land. We came up with some options, some really good options. I'm not at liberty to discuss those yet because we have to do some paperwork on that and some hard work on that. And so we're inviting Helen to our next meeting. And the next meeting will be set for February 4th, 2026 at 3 p.m. at the Stonehouse Restaurant. So if you have something to add to our
committee and help us out with parking, and we'll be working on it. Yes.
If anybody wants to ask one of the committee members questions, who are the committee members?
Okay, the committee so far that met was David Campbell, Shannon Sanders, Fletcher Thornton, and myself, Nanette DeDonato. So those were the four, but anybody else is welcome to join us at the next meeting. February 4th, 3 o'clock at Stonehouse.
Okay, I hate to be a wet blanket, but that was fine as far as a meeting at this point until after the election and we find out who the board members are. But basically, if it's more than 2 board members on a meeting, then it has to be noticed in Brown Act and all that crap. So all that stuff. Sorry. Yeah. So just as we just have Shannon and David are up on the election ballot. So, hi, Linda.
Hi, Monica. Linda Deal Darms, and I'd like to just remind people that we have the Middletown Luncheon Club starting up on Wednesday the 21st. It's at the Senior Center. It's at noon. Lunch is $5. You need to call the Senior Center if you'd like a lunch. And our speaker for this month will be our District 1 Supervisor, Helen Owen. And then I just want people to be aware the Middletown Central Park Association will be doing our annual crab feed, and the date is February 28th. And we don't have tickets out yet, but we will, and I just want people to be aware.
Hey, I'm Dan, president of the Merchants Association. There's a mixer on Tuesday next week, 6 to 8 o'clock at H&D Golf Carts. It's across from the Shell station, if you know where that's at in Hidden Valley, that industrial plaza. You don't have to be a business owner to go. You don't have to be a mama member to go. You can just go and see what they got going on. So 6 to 8 next Tuesday. Hope to see you guys there. Thanks.
Thank you. Any other public announcements, public input? Okay. Seeing none, then it is time to move on to our speaker for the evening, Diego Harris. And Lisa is going to kind of set some things up. So I don't know if anybody is familiar with Diego's art, but I'm sure we'll see some of it. And there's a wonderful sculpture in Clear Lake. I know my husband and I have had the opportunity to go to Olema and down by Point Reyes, and we're very excited to see one of your sculptures there at the place that we stopped in at. So, yes, made us feel right at home. Thank you for being here with us this evening.
So, Diego, could you just stand up for a second? Actually, there's a good mic there for you. So you guys can hear that I've been under the weather. It's not contagious, but it's stuck here. I was on a long trip, and I can't get rid of it yet. So I'm not going to talk a lot. But you can see that we got a grant called Rooted in Place. I spoke about it a few months ago. By the way, my name is Lisa Kaplan, and I run the Middletown Art Center. Diego Harris, I've known him for many years. You will see his art in a second. And he actually did a lot of work at the Eco Art Sculpture Walk when we first started back before the Valley Fire.
6 or 7 shows there or
Yeah,
something like that.
The last time he had a piece there was this dragon, I think, or maybe
Oh,
it was
the
mobile.
mobile. The
Yeah.
big mobile, 22-foot tall mobile.
Yeah. So, but anyway, you guys have probably all seen his work because it was part of our landscape before the fire. I forgot what else I wanted to say about that. Anyway, we wrote a grant for to do public art in county parks. It's a partnership with the county. We got a nice chunk of money to do murals in 3 parks around the lake and a sculpture over here at Trailside Park. I wanted to invite, first of all, when you write a grant, you got a lot of work to do on that. And I had heard, I've been sitting in these math meetings for a very long time, regularly, and I heard, especially after the fire, people were seeing Diego's work and they were like, why can't we get a sculpture like that here? So when it was time for me to figure out what to do for Trailside, because I wasn't going to leave us out, and I wanted to do a sculpture so that it would be integral to the Eco Art Sculpture Walk, I decided to invite Diego, who has actually since become somewhat famous, and his sculptures cost quite a bit of money, and he won't participate in our shows unless I pay him. So, so there's.
I would if I ever had one just, extra, but they're usually committed to things about 8 months in advance.
It's all good. We're so glad that you're making money selling your art. That's really important. So, yeah. So anyway, so this project, let me see, where do I get? Come on, next, escape, start all over.
I also did this little metal mural relief right outside the
That's right.
right outside the
That's
library
right.
here.
That's right.
That was part of a different art grant.
That's right, but also from the county and also
Yeah.
through the public services.
It was that one and one in Middletown at their new little bathroom there too.
Here, yeah. Okay, so here, when I submitted the grant, I will show you, but this is the drawing that I submitted to the grant, and it's a concept. It's not like necessarily where we're going to end up, but this was the concept that I sent in. It was inspired by these two pieces. So many of you may have seen something that looks like the fire tree on the left. And Diego's other work has been here. Looks a lot like this. I'm going to flick now to a page that has many, and Diego, maybe you can tell us briefly where these are so that people can get a sense of.
So the rust fire tree is actually over in the ranchos by Hidden Valley, and I'm always surprised. A lot of people have seen it there. I'm always like, how many people go out that road? The funny thing is there's actually 3 of my sculptures on Yankee Valley Road now, just that one road, because one person gets one, then somebody else wants one, then another neighbor goes, I want one, and now I've got 3 on just that one little road. So there's quite a few people have seen them out there. The one right below it is titled Storm Tree. That's actually out Cache Creek. It's the very last house before you hit the property where the dam is at. And then the one next to it is actually a really big, maybe 18-foot tall sculpture. And a lot of these I did sort of to memorialize fires, not just the one here, but that one on the bottom corner is for the fire that burnt down the Marquez Springs area. The guy lost his house. He actually owned a huge tree trimming service and didn't want any trees left in his property, but it kind of irked him that he owns this tree service and has no trees anymore. So he wanted a metal tree to memorialize the fire. And then there's a couple above that that are just sort of more abstract. I mean, I really like spirals, so that's just kind of my thing. So we've been kind of going back and forth on this project between more sort of a flame-like branch design to sort of memorialize the fire, but then there's also the spirals, which are more indicative of like new life, rebirth. So we're kind of leaning towards maybe having a little bit of both. And then the horns, which I just like on some of these, they kind of almost make it seem more like the trees are talking to each other. And the more we learn about the microbiome in the soil and how the fungi interact with the roots, we are learning that trees and other plants do communicate with each other, maybe not through talking, but through chemical interactions to understand what's happening around them. So this would be kind of more just an abstract visualization of that process, since we don't really comprehend how trees communicate. This just kind of makes it a little more personal to us.
Right.
And, that's kind of the idea.
And there's the added aspect, which all of you probably recognize, that after the fire, we all connected more than we had been connecting before. We started talking to each other more and about things that were actually touching us deeply because we had so much loss that we shared. And so it's that those horns are part of why I asked Diego to incorporate the horns, even though he's doing it in other work, is because it symbolizes not only that the trees are talking to each other, but that we're talking to each other, that we're connecting more. So those are the reasons, those are some of the reasons why we are going in this direction. Okay, now, of course, also, we all know that our trees burnt down, but that they're coming back. But we all, one of the ways that we all united also is around nature and around the loss of the trees and wildlife. So these are the things that we're thinking about when we're looking at this work. Diego, maybe you want to tell us a little bit about what we see here.
The bottom corner one, that's actually in Olema near Point Reyes Station. That's at a bed and breakfast. I think you were just mentioning
Yes.
that you saw that one and thought it was neat. That one's about 14 or 15 feet tall. A lot of these are like 14 to 15 feet tall. The grant that we're looking at, I might not be able to do them quite that big.
I'll talk
but
about
we're thinking somewhere in that range. The one above it was in Fort Bragg at the Botanical Gardens for a few years. That one sold to a guy in Napa. He was actually a construction attorney, a very prominent construction attorney down there. And then about a week after I installed it, they had their big earthquake. And I actually felt it up here and went, oh, I bet I know where that is. Because, you know, it's just one of those things, like you just installed it, but it didn't move. It was fine. Other stuff he owned moved and fell over, but he was so impressed that it had stayed in place that he just instantly ordered another one. And the one next to that is actually the same one, just a different angle. The one next to that, actually a lady in Napa bought that, the very top corner, other way, yeah. A lady in Napa had bought that, and then a few months later, her property burnt down. Her whole house burnt down. I think part of her garage survived. She had a few knickknacks that she saved, but that was actually the only like real big thing that she had still, because it didn't burn. My stuff is fireproof. They've been in several fires. When she moved, she had me move it. It's still in Napa, but it's a different neighborhood, and she's thrilled that she still has something from the fire that survived. The one right below that one, it's very metallic looking, but it actually has since rusted. They're all made of Corten steel, so they develop a rust patina, but it's a very mild, like just surface rust. It doesn't really like rot the metal because it has copper and chromium and stuff in it. That one's in, where is that one? Carmel by the Sea, so that one's down Central Coast area. And then the one in the middle is again the one that's over in the Ranchos. That was the first one I did to commemorate these fires, because that property there had actually burnt down. Jill Mazzono purchased that one for her property. She has since bought maybe 6 or 7 sculptures from me, different types of sculptures. So, and she still has them in, she has another place in Hidden Valley. So yeah, they're around here locally. There's a few here and there.
The fact that they are made out of a material that's fire resilient is also really important and also symbolic in this whole story of why the choice. So, okay, so this is the original sketch that Diego came up with. We had thought, what were the heights of these? It was like...
It was supposed to be like 11, 12, and 8, 9 foot, something like that. It was like like a mama, a daddy, and a baby kind of idea. That was the family grouping
like
design.
a family kind of thing. And that, Diego priced that at $36K. And when I wrote the grant, I could only put 26 in the budget, and the other 10 is a match. So that's up to the community to match that 10K. So I asked him today if maybe, or yesterday, if maybe he could make them a little bit smaller and with less branches, so that we didn't have so that our goal would be a little smaller. And so in terms of the financials. And then I also asked him to give me something that was only 2 with the spirals, because those are a little bit more expensive. So there's a place where, I turn to you and I say, do you think we can raise $10,000, and do we want that? And I don't know, how much did you say this one would probably be?
Well, this was kind of like, if we could only get the 26, what could I do for that kind of range? And I said, well, either 3 really small ones or 2 kind of medium, like 11, 12 footers. Because, yeah, they take me about a month each to make, and I do have a business. I have to pay bills and all that good stuff. So, I need to make at least a good, like, 10 to 15,000 off each sculpture, this kind of various range. So, yeah, 36 would be 3 of the larger ones. I said like around 30 for maybe 3 smaller ones, and this would be maybe like the 26 to 30 kind of range. I could do something, and it could vary anywhere in between there. I could figure something out. It's not like we're bracketed to very specific amounts. I just wanted to give you guys some ideas, like, well, if it's only this much, I can maybe do this. If it's a little more, I could do this. If it's the full amount, I could do something that's pretty impressive and pretty cool. So, and this is actually a good deal. I'm not like, trying to make a lot of money off of this. I just need to basically make enough to live off of during the duration of me making them. That's pretty much what I'm looking to
Right,
get.
and remember, steel is, the price keeps going up.
Yeah. And I
So-
bought a whole bunch a year ago, and I'm about halfway through with it. So if we get this kind of locked in fairly soon, I'm going to try and use up what I have. Otherwise, I'm going to have to go buy more, and I know it's going to be about double what it was, so it's going to be that too.
Right. So, so here I turn to you and I say, are there people? First of all, I want to say that I'm glad that there's more people here for the election today, and that I'm glad that there's more people who might have some input. So I guess I would want to know, like, do you guys prefer the more spirally one, or the more? Oh no, come back, or the more flaming tree kind of ones? First of all. Those are my questions. And then the second thing is, are people think, just a second, Rosemary, I see you. The second thing is, do people feel like they would like to help contribute financially to make the larger one happen? Rosemary?
Is the donation tax deductible?
Oh, of course. Thank you for asking that. Yeah, totally tax deductible. Yeah.
So we do need to get people on mic. So, or you could.
So Rosemary
repeat.
asked if the
Yes.
donations were tax deductible, and so the answer is yes, totally tax deductible. The Middletown Arts Center, Eco Arts of Lake County, is a 501c3 nonprofit, and all donations are tax deductible to the extent the law allows.
And if you give a nice donation, I'll give you a free pair of earrings from Diego Harris. It's a deal sweetener there.
So
Steel and fireproof?
They're copper.
So I'm not asking you all to necessarily, especially in the interest of time, say, yes, I will pledge, blah, blah, blah. But I'm here, and I come all the time. And I can be found at that yellow building on the corner. And when I'm not there, 10:30 to 5, which actually most of the time I'm not there, I also can be reached either via email or via my people over there, but if we want to do the larger one or 3, we do need at least $5,000 extra to do 3. And the 3 is kind of cool because of the family concept. I really like that. I do want to hear from you guys if you prefer the spirals or if you prefer the flaming trees. So how about I just go, how many of you prefer the flaming trees? 4, 5, 6.
Flaming, that's these.
6. And then and then how many of you prefer the more spirally kind? Yeah, the spiral and the flaming tree. So there's a little bit of a majority and a lot of people who didn't respond, and that's okay. But so what will happen is I'm not going to ask Diego to drive out here again to talk to you guys, but I can
I'll do
follow
it.
up. What's that?
I'll do it if I have to.
Yeah, but I mean, he gets hassled a lot, like, can you change this? Can you change that? So I want to try and make it, comfortable for him because I'm an artist too, and I know what that's like. So
Lisa, what's your timeline?
we have to, Diego's going to have to say something about that, but we have to,
It's about a 3-month project based on whenever I, get started. And typically I have, a few months of projects kind of underway whenever I'm, at any given moment. So
Right, but I thought there was a grant involved.
Money have to be paid by a certain time? Does grant money have to be spent by a certain time?
yes, no, it has to be, the project has to be, I was going to just answer that. The project has to be finished by the end of September. So we have some time, but he needs those 3 months and I need a buffer month, right? So let's say September, August, June, by May, but that's too late in my opinion. Like I would like to say within 2 months, maximum 3, I'd like to know where we're at so that he and I know what we're doing, and so I can bring stuff, yeah. So Diego was there today?
yeah, I wasn't really sure exactly where the best spot would be, but it would be in the Trailside Park over there off 175, and there's kind of a little meadowy clearing not too long after you get out of the parking lot that it seemed kind of like where you were thinking maybe.
The
or-
main opening
Yeah,
area.
I mean, it would have to be someplace that's not too swampy, and after I went there today, there are a lot of swampy areas, so that might be something to think about too, but it seems like there was kind of one open area that didn't look too mushy and full of frogs at the moment, so that might
Yeah.
be a good spot.
Yeah, Diego and I will meet over there one day, but I've been envisioning it in that main clearing that when you first go in there, it's a very large area that there's not a whole lot of stuff in. So, pardon? Well, you have to go immediately to the right now because they moved us. But there's some quails there. There's like a structure there now. There's another like climbing structure and some hitch somewhere else, but like somewhere in the middle, over here, like in the middle is where I would see it potentially. Kind of kitty corner to where mine is actually.
Okay.
But yeah, but we'll see. And I think we need to wrap it up. And so I'm just going to ask you guys to, I will be here next month. Okay. If I'm not here, somebody else will be here who can represent me and this interest. I'll be here next month, and I'm just asking you all to think, what would you like? I want to hear from you.
People can call you at what number?
My
or
number is
email you?
the number I'm going to give out is 707-355-4465. Again, somebody can connect you with me at the Middletown Arts Center anytime. And my email is lkaplan, Kaplan, at Middletown Art, A-R-T, no S, middletownartcenter.org. And I want to hear from you, please. Like, it's really important for us to hear from you what your preferences are. And if you can help us, if you want to make it larger, smaller. I mean, we do want it to be a monument to basically to the fire and to the trees that we lost and to the connections that we've forged within our community since. Thank you very much. Thank you, Diego, for coming.
Thank you.
Yes, thank you.
Thank you very
Lisa. Thank you, Diego.
And you know what? One more thing. I would be happy to put this on the middletownartcenter.org website so that you guys can review it and keep looking at it. So that's middletownartcenter.org, art, A-R-T, remember? And there will be something that, it's called Rooted in Place is the name of the project. So if you click on the Rooted in Place button, you'll be able to find this. I'll take care of that tomorrow. Thank you all so much for your time.
Thanks, Lisa.
Thank you, Lisa.
Thanks, Tom.
Okay. Now for the moment we've all been waiting for. It's election time. So, and before we get started with elections, I would like to read over just a little bit about how this is going to go this evening. Trying to make it a little bit smoother than I think last year was a little bit jumbled, and so each year we're trying to improve. I did send out an email to all the candidates, kind of letting them know kind of what the format was and what to expect, and to confirm that they were running. We have 6 candidates running for 3 seats. We did have a 7th, but Justin Bean had contacted me and let me know that it probably isn't going to work for him this go around. So we'll probably see his name on a future ballot. So just going over things real quickly. Okay, I already said there's 3 seats. As we all know, and I do have copies of the bylaws here if anybody would like a copy of the bylaws. But we're trying our best here to do the election in compliance with the bylaws. The candidate qualifications must be registered voter in Lake County, must have attended at least 3 meetings in the calendar year preceding this month, so the calendar year of 2025, and let's see, and then must reside within the South Lake County Fire Protection District. And I believe that all of our candidates as nominated qualify. But if anybody doesn't, please speak now.
Madam Chair?
Yes.
Question. Does that go for the voters also, that they need to be,
No, there is nothing in our bylaws that speaks about the voters. It's the, other than to say that whoever is present at the January meeting.
they have to reside within the district?
Oh, yes, yes, yes. That is, yeah, as far as for voting on any matters of having to do with math, you must reside within the South Lake County Fire District. Okay, so the election is being held today. We will announce the election results at the end of the meeting. If, with the board's approval, I did ask our former secretary, hi, Ken Gonzalez, to oversee the ballots along with our alternate that is present today, Dan Terrell. So, and if the board is okay with that, Dan and Ken will hand out the ballots when it's time for that, and they will also collect your ballot. They also have pens in case you need a pen, and then they will remove themselves from the room and go and count the ballots, and then come back, and we'll give them a little bit of time, and at the end of the meeting, hopefully they've got it all tallied out by then, and we'll announce the election results. Excuse me?
You asked permission, and I made a motion to accept your proposal.
Oh, thank you. So should we do it by motion or just by consensus? Anybody opposed? Okay, seems like everybody's okay. All right, so as I've told each candidate that they will each have 2 minutes to address the group and tell us a little bit about themselves and why they want to run or whatever it is that they would like to say. There is no Q&A during this presentation. These are just presentations, and then we will move on to voting after all the presentations are done. As was stated earlier, in accordance with the bylaws, that again we have 3 open seats and 6 people running. So the 3 that are elected will of course take those seats, but first, before the election is finalized, must also fill out a form, which I do have copies here, and this is the application for appointment from the Lake County to serve on advisory board. This application has to be filled out and submitted to the County of Lake, to the clerk, and then it's posted on the Board of Supervisors agenda, and they go through an approval process. And usually it's just an item that comes up and they say, okay, we have these 3 candidates. They read off the names and they all say yay. And then we're notified that the election is finalized. So the 3 that are not elected, yes, this assembly, according to our bylaws, this assembly may consider nominating or may consider electing from those 3 alternate or those 3 individuals to become the next 2 alternates for 2026, if those folks are willing to serve as alternates, or the assembly may also nominate from the floor for the alternates. So there is written ballots that will be passed out. As the ballot, on the ballot it does say the instructions, which is basically to vote for, you may vote for less than 3, but no more than 3. We've asked you to put an X to be nice and clear, again, to make it super easy for Ken and Dan to tally up those votes as quickly as possible. And let's see, anything else? I think that's about it. So with that, I think that we will go ahead and proceed with presentations, and we will go in the order that they are on the ballot. So Ken, if you could let us know who the first one is. Tara.
Well, I mean, should I sit over there? I guess I'll stand over there.
Yeah.
For visibility purposes, I definitely, obviously, have to adjust this. Okay.
You're not as tall as Diego? Oh, I guess before we
guess I can
start
just do
too,
that.
I should
That's
ask, are
fine.
there any questions on the process?
I have one question.
Yes.
Are you going to tally the number of people that are
Fletcher,
voting?
would you speak loud enough so they could hear it on the speaker, please?
Are you going to tally the number of people voting prior to the vote and audit that against the number of votes that you get?
I've assigned this to Dan and Ken, so, and they're dividing up the room in half, and so one is in charge of half, and the other is in charge of the other half, and they're gonna keep a tally on people.
So they're
So-
going to count how many people are here to vote?
Yeah, they're gonna, probably count as they're handing out the ballots, how many ballots they're handing out, and that's how many ballots they're gonna get back.
Thank you.
So, yes. Right?
Maybe.
All right. Hi, everyone. I am Terry Barra, currently acting as secretary, and I have been secretary for 1 year. Yeah, I mean, you're going to be better. I'm a short person. Medium short, guys. Come on. Okay. So, not only do I participate with math, but I also participate with the Merchants Association. I am very active in the community. I help plan Christmas in Middletown. I have 3 children that are all in the different school ages conveniently. So I have an elementary school, middle school, and high schooler. And so I'm also involved with the schools. I'm on site council. So I am actively just trying to make sure that the community is thriving, not only for all of us and our businesses, I'm a business owner, but also for our next generation. So everything that I'm actively trying to install is with the next generation in mind, making sure that our area is built for thriving and the area will continue to, do well. Ta-da.
Thank you.
Oh, thank you.
You still have time, if you.
I could keep talking, but that's my gist.
Thank you.
Thanks, Ken. Bill Waite, I've been on the board now for 2 years and have been asked to run again. And the reason I like being on the board, or at least the reason I like participating, is because I believe in the community. And I think South County is the future of Lake County. And I've been involved in, not the political game, but I've been involved in Lake County ever since I moved here in 2006. I bought in '97, and so I've been here 29 years in the area. But I moved here permanently in '06 when I retired, and immediately in '07 got elected to the board of directors out at Hidden Valley. And when I was director is when Hidden Valley started getting involved more in the politics and with the people of Lake County. And they needed to do that because they seemed to isolate themselves from everything that was going on. But the future of Hidden Valley also lies in Middletown. And I think that we want to see growth here, growth like a rural community that we are. And I think that takes participation from the people of the community. When I first started Hidden Valley, 2 people used to show up for the board meetings. When I left, 150 used to show up. And I think the numbers that are participating in math are the same way since I came on the board, and Monica's been on the board. And we've actually stepped up involvement of the community with the county as well as the state. So I think the participation is there, and I like to see this. I think one of the holdbacks of Middletown is the fact that we're not an incorporated area, so we got to do what we can do as a voice somewhere collectively, and I think we've started that. Thank you.
Wait. Oh, another tall one.
You should have gone first.
Alrighty, ladies and gentlemen, my name's Shannon Sanders. I'm fortunate enough to live here in Middletown. I've been visiting the area since I was 20 years old. Oh gosh, I don't even want to say it. Well, quite a bit older than that now. And I really think this organization is important because it gives people a voice. We've already got half the battle won. We've got a good supervisor, and giving the people an opportunity to voice their concerns is so important. And I was thinking about it, and I thought, well,
That's not right.
what's the most important thing for qualification for somebody to be on the board? And I thought, well, humility, because it's not about a personal agenda; it's about the people's business. So in a way, it's sort of you're sort of a fiduciary. You hold the other people's interests even above your own personal ones. And I'm looking forward to being of help. And if you think I can be of help, vote for me. And I appreciate the opportunity. Thank you.
Thank you.
I'm not as tall as this.
You can just tilt it straight down.
How's that? Hi, everybody. I just got a few little notes here. Most of you I've met. We've been coming here for a few years now, and I am a California lifelong resident. I moved to Middletown 25 years ago. My husband Patrick and I own a small little piece of property just south of town. And I remember when I first moved here from Southern California, the deserts, literally 100 foot below sea level, desert, no rain, sunshine 365 days out of the year. When I moved here, it was a huge surprise. Windy roads, deer, rain, snow, not a four-wheel drive, and you name it, and it was a shock, but I remember thinking how blessed I was about how much I loved it. It's like, wow, this is just so beautiful. Deserts are pretty, but this was just something different to me. So I've got 5 grandchildren and 4 adult children, and so I've worked for a local power company, geothermal power company now for 25 years. I'm showing my age here. I've been in the geothermal power energy for almost 40 years, and I primarily do environmental compliance for air and water quality. That's my major role. And so I am familiar with working with large fiscal budgets, making sure regulations are maintained. I work with a large variety of people from different walks of life, from different skill sets. And I've just recently, like 2 years ago, started coming to this math meeting. To be honest with you, I was kind of unfamiliar with it until Charlie bugged the heck out of me and said, you need to come. And I have really been enjoying it. I've gotten to meet a lot of really neat people, worked on a couple projects with some really hardworking people, and gotten to know some of you. And I just wanted to let you know that I really feel that this group is important, and to listen to all of you and what your concerns are, what your joys are, what your struggles are. I want the community to be prosperous. I am not a business owner, but I do shop here. I do dine here. I want all of our children to be healthy and safe at our schools. I want our roads to be travelable, if that's not a word. But so I just really want to make sure that we maintain and sustain what we have. It's important to sustain and maintain, not even necessarily grow, although I am into wise growth. So I hope that I can serve you. I hope that we may not always agree on everything, but I would be very, very welcome to listening to what everyone's thoughts are and act to represent the group as a whole. Thanks.
Thank you, Beth.
Okay, Nanette DeDonato. I've had the pleasure of being on the math board for the last 2 years, and I would like another term on the board. I'm a retired special education teacher, 25 years, and have resided in Middletown for the last 6 years. My husband has been a resident for over 40 years. While on the board, I have worked with several committees to improve our town and county. I worked with the Lake County Pet Health and Safety Group, which set up 3 low-cost or free clinics to spay and neuter pets. I also worked with Beth, with the South County, we named ourselves Water Alliance, to stop a proposed cannabis grow due to water issues, and we were successful. And I'm currently working with the parking committee to increase available parking in the Middletown area. Second page, sorry. I'm committed to working and helping improve the Middletown community for everybody's benefit. I would appreciate your vote. Thank you.
Hi, how you doing tonight? My name is David Campbell, and my wife and I, Janet, own Stonehouse Restaurant, and then my business partner Brian and I own Noble Saloon here in town. So we had a couple businesses in town, and just since I've been in here, I've wanted to be part of the community and just kind of get to know which way Middletown wants to go, and South County, how it wants to grow, and what the community thinks about it. And so I've been asking around, and I just learned about this probably just under a year ago about M.A.T.H. So I've been coming to the last 4 or 5 meetings, and I feel like if I'm going to learn about it, I better just get right into it. So, and that's about really where I'm at right now. Just want to get involved and see how things go. So,
Great.
thank you for your time.
Thank you, David. All right, so that's everyone. So Dan and Ken will begin to pass out the ballots. And again, they have extra pens if you need a pen. If you're not in South Lake County, but here with us this evening and attending our meeting, please do not accept a ballot. Sorry, Tom. Sorry, Margot.
You should put them in your pocket. That's a good idea. And just pull them out. Here, I got an extra one.
So, and again, the person who's handing out the ballot to you will come back around to collect your ballot.
Oh, and he's got 2. You got 2? No. Pass that to him. Here,
Ta-da.
Okay. There we go.
1, 2, 3, 4.
Thank you, Ken.
In reverse alphabetical order. Oh, that's how they do it with the.
What?
The agenda minutes and that kind of stuff, accounting and all that.
Yeah, that's what we're going to do, is go through the agenda while they're counting. Yeah. Mhm. He's not coming back to get our ballot. No. Ken's not coming back to get our ballots.
He got so excited he had to go to the bathroom.
Yeah.
What's that?
He's gonna come back.
Yeah. I'll take him out.
I'm not going to take this, but I just
Yeah.
Yeah, we all did.
The results.
Rest and relaxation. Rest and relaxation.
Get better, girl.
And lots of hot tea.
Yes, absolutely.
Brandy works better.
Honey, tea, lemon.
Yeah.
Would you agree? Hot brandy works better.
Yeah.
Sometimes.
I need to know how to spell his last name. Yeah. Well, Ken did a little, and I handed out things at the senior center to vote for me, but to tell them at the meeting tonight anytime, and then I wrote for me.
One of the bigger crowds we've had in a while.
So, in fact, I think I still have them in my purse. I do. I was trying to get people to come.
Has everyone voted? And everyone's turned in their ballot? Okay. Ken and Dan have left the room. And in the meantime, we will go ahead and proceed with the agenda. So our next item on the agenda is the approval of the December meeting minutes. And we know we had one correction on the agenda. We had left David Campbell's name off as one of those that were nominated, but his name was on the ballot, so congratulations, David. And sorry about missing your name in the minutes. Beyond that, you have a comment?
Yes, thank you. I was going to bring that up. On the minutes, moment of silence, I want to reiterate that Gail Rye should have been Gail Wright. Mm-hmm. And also Martha Webster, a good friend of Matt. We wanted to remember her, which was important.
Yes, and we do apologize for the, for a couple of errors that were in the minutes, but we did have a little juggling of those. Sarah was not here the last meeting, and so she was trying to listen to the tape. And again, if we don't use the mic and don't speak clearly, then she can't pick up everything correctly. So
Are you talking about me?
No.
Thank you,
No.
anyway, thank you.
I think we gave you a mic last month.
I'm sorry, that was, what was Martha's last name? What was the correction?
Webster.
Webster, thank you.
Yes, it's W-E-B, just like it sounds.
Perfect.
Webster.
Is right W-R-I-G-H-T? Do we know?
Yes.
Okay, thank you.
And with those corrections to the minutes for longevity, I would entertain a motion.
Entertain. Oh,
Oh,
motion.
entertain.
Motion to approve as
Okay.
amended.
I have a first by Bill, a second by Nanette. All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Okay, so moved. Reports and correspondence. Secretary?
Do we want to write that we are waiting for Lars to reply?
Oh, we could, because that's in response to the parking. Yeah, right,
Okay,
yeah.
so, do you want to cover that?
Oh, sure.
Monica and, okay, yeah, you,
Yeah. So at our last meeting, when the parking committee was formed, we also talked about, or I had said that I would send an email to Lars of Public Works to ask him about the lot. I did that. Whenever I send out an email, I always copy our secretary and copy the math email so that those things are kept in the math file for longevity. And anyway, we have not heard back from Lars yet. So just wanted to report out on that. And we also would ask perhaps, because we know that our supervisor spends a lot of time at the courthouse where Lars is also located, and that maybe she could give him a little nudge. So, and the question to Lars basically was just, would it be possible at all if Sutter might entertain having a parking lot rather than a park? You need a mic.
That was my original thought, And last year, when I was touring parks with him, I did bring that concept up. It sounded to me like we could put some parking in. I did request that. I wanted it for parking, but it sounded to, I was under the impression when I spoke with him that it would be Sutter Health's decision, but they really wanted it to be a park. So I asked if we could add as much parking as possible, was the step 2 on that, plan B,
Okay.
as we might say. But that was my thought as well. Thank you.
Okay. So I'm sure the parking committee has heard those comments. Thank you.
We didn't even consider it.
Yes.
That's not saying that we can't put forth another request, because this was one person asking.
Right.
And so if the whole body asks, and I think we would absolutely have to have approval from Sutter Health to make that happen, because I think that was the fear, was not showing enough appreciation towards Sutter Health. But it wouldn't hurt to
Well, we
reapproach
did.
that.
That's what we had sent in an email on behalf of MATH. So if you happen to see Lars in the hallway, if you could ask if
Thank you. Okay.
I guess that's what I'm asking you. If you
Perfect.
could just give him a little nudge and say, hey, did you receive an email from MATH? And so I'll resend it also. And because, again, this was just before the holidays. I don't know about anybody else, but, life gets a little bit busy. So, the email may have gotten lost also. Any other correspondence received?
Nope. Just communication
Okay.
about agendas and stuff.
All right. So moving on, then we have comments from District 1 Supervisor Helen Owen. Well, I don't know. I think you should stand up because then, because then
can see
everybody
your
can
face.
see you. So if you don't mind, you can sit up here if you'd like. Yeah, I'll move here. You can sit right here. Why don't you come here? Use this mic. No, please, go right ahead.
Okay. Sorry. Okay, thank you everybody for having me here tonight. I first want to thank Margot for bringing up the human trafficking that we talked about at the Lake County Board of Supervisors on Tuesday. Some of the things I did not realize until I got into this position and started running is how prevalent the human trafficking is in this area. I had no idea. I felt that we were kind of sheltered a bit, and that's not true. So California, we found out at the meeting actually, California has moved from number 3 in the United States to number 1 in the United States for human trafficking. This is unacceptable. It looks like the statistics they were giving us was Sacramento is pretty much kind of the hub of that. And our Highway 20 from I-5 to 101 is a major route. So we do have a copter program that was formed a few years ago, which has been phenomenal. But I have talked to people that are involved in the copter program. They're on Highway 20, and it's extremely disturbing when you start finding out what is actually going on. So I think that is probably one of the more crucial things that we need to really put to the forefront here in Lake County, because it just turns my stomach. Let me see. We did get our Rachel Smith appointed to Animal Control as the Animal Control Director. She will start February 9th. We have been without an Animal Control Director for some time, so that's exciting news. I was just at I didn't even know if I was going to get here on time. I was at a Lake County Recreation agency meeting. And this is a new agency that was formed about 2 years ago, so about a year prior to me getting on the board. I was assigned to it. It's pretty exciting. We're creating trails, developing trails, and then reopening trails that might need some TLC. Trying to do more recreation outside, and getting people healthy with our clean air and all the natural resources we have here. It's just a natural fit. And as many of you know, Lake County used to be like one of the top recreation and tourist destinations in California. So we're wanting to fight to get some of that back. We did have our first event through that, and through Lars Ewings put it together. And it was a run, like a 5K run or something, up to the top of Mount Canocti in the fall. It was on Veterans Day. And I guess they had a phenomenal turnout. And so they've done a lot of work on those trails, and they're looking to do several more trails. One of my goals that has been, actually it was brought to my attention many, many years ago, and that is to do connectivity of communities. So I would like to see a multi-use trail between Middletown and Hidden Valley, for instance. So I've also been trying to think at how we can make this happen. I've also been working with Todd Flora with Middletown Water, and Kelly, what's his name? Just a moment. Sorry. It's something Kelly. Anyway, with the Community Service District. And they're looking to do an interconnection for fire resources between Hidden Valley and Middletown. And that was something that was thought of a while back prior to me as well, but I'm pushing it to get it brought forward and try to get that going. And it's going to take a while, but that's something we can put our multi-use trail on top of that pipeline is what we were thinking. So I think that would be phenomenal for our communities. Also with Todd, I told him that we need to start working, or I've asked him to start working on grants to be able to hook up people that need water south of Middletown. He is working on that. And what we're going to need from the people is letters and information on who is in need of water south of Middletown, so that we can extend those lines out there. Some of you may or may not know, we had negotiated a deal with Gwinnett Ranch to get the water resources there on Butts Canyon, right across from the cemetery. So originally, in their original plan, that water was going to go out to Gwinnett Ranch. We've negotiated that. That's going to stay here in Middletown to Calliope Water. And they've drilled the well, and it's looking like it's around 700 gallons a minute. So it's a win-win for us, and that will give allow us to be able to start. And they may end up drilling another well as well, because there is a well on that property that is, nobody knows how big it is. It's actually somewhere, they've done it, what was it, 3,000 gallons a minute they tested it at for 4 days?
We tested it and we got 1,500 gallons.
15?
That's all we could pump.
That's all you could pump. And that was actually I traced that well back, and Sherry Diener, if those of you remember the Diener Ranch, she's the one that actually put that irrigation well in.
But that's not a sealed well. So
No, it's an agriculture well. And but the point is that there's water there. We're very, very fortunate, and now we have access to it for the people of Middletown. And I know that one of my goals, as I stated early on, was to make sure that the people that are having to haul water during the winter can get water from Middletown. Summer. I'm sorry. You know what I meant. Okay. Let me see if there's anything else on my update. Okay, there's one more thing I would like to make a request that M.A.T.H invite Maria Turner, our community service director, to a meeting here. Right now they're working on the Plan 2050, but they're working on the general plan. And I think that we need more involvement here. after the general plan, they'll be working more on the area plans, which I think more of our people are involved with the area plans. But the general plan encompasses the entire county. So I would really like to see our South County have more input on the area plan as well, the entire plan. I mean, general plan. Let me see.
Can I add, does everybody
No,
understand
no.
what the general plan is?
Go ahead and answer
Yes.
that while I'm looking.
No? Okay. So the general plan is basically the general plan for the entire Lake County. It is more or less like the Constitution, the Bible, that contains all the policies and guidelines for growth and development in Lake County. So, and then all of the area plans, and there are, I think there's 8 area plans, maybe 9, but 8. Okay, so 8 area plans, including the Middletown area plan, that all work with the general plan. So they're more specific to a particular area or a town or community, but their policies within the area plans all have to align with the general plan. So the general plan is being done first, and so that is going to, in some ways, kind of dictate what happens, what filters down to the area plans. So the general plan basically, goes over things like there's a piece in the general plan that talks about agriculture. There's the agricultural element. There's the housing element. There's water. There's anyway, there's several different elements within the general plan. So it's, even if you'd like to get involved, you don't have to, because it can be overwhelming as far as the bulk of it. You can just pick one thing. If you're interested in housing, that's a real topic, and affordable housing and all, then just focus on that segment. And anything that you can offer, would be most welcome. And then the voice of course, our South Lake County can be included. Yes, Fletcher.
Mike, please. Mike, please.
Yes.
Yeah, well, we were thinking even if it needed to be a special meeting, but the point is, I was asking the board here, to invite her so that we could have more input on the general plan. She did hold a meeting for everybody in December, I believe it was, at the courthouse. But it'd be nice to have her come down here where everybody is, because I think not everybody sees these notices. To be able to attend them is what I'm getting at. And I think it'd behoove all of us to have a little more input and kind of see what they're looking at. Because it's
better
important.
or for worse, you have to kind of be involved in technology. The county has kind of moved to Lake County 2050 is the website that contains all the information about the general plan and the area plans and meeting notices. So it's almost like you just have to kind of think every once in a while to log in to Lake County 2050 to check out, is there anything going on? because we don't have a local paper here anymore. Martha Webster's Heart. We've lost the Middletown Time-Star quite some time ago, so it is difficult to get notices out, and we try again through correspondence. We'll try to get it out, and we'll get that link out, and send out through the math email. Yes, Fletcher.
Mike, please.
I'll repeat what he says.
Thank you.
Well, we'll move on to the next item on our agenda is setting some agenda items. You're talking about, so then we'll kind of line up some priorities there, and again, it will depend on when Maria is available to attend. So, but if you can give me some leeway as the chair, or whoever the chair is going to be in the future, give us some leeway, in the next 3 months, let's get her here. Okay, thank you.
Okay, I got a question in there too. When we're talking about the general plan and stuff like that, that's where we're talking about where the zoning for all the properties and everything is established, and the areas where the changes are going to be taking place. and where they want growth to go vis-a-vis zoning or rezoning of those particular areas. Is that correct? Or not?
Well, that's the area plan is
But
more
it's
zoning.
still involving the zoning, though.
Yes, it does.
Well,
Still
it
involves some of
involves-
the zoning.
It involves the zoning on it. The area plan sets the owner for that area.
Well, because the
but
general plan
reflects
encompasses
it.
the entire Lake County. The area plans have a boundary within a particular area. So there are, some areas that aren't, well, no, I think almost all the areas are, anyway, I don't, yeah.
So what's the
But
date of this general plan approval?
what is the date of the general plan approval? Nobody knows that yet. As far as we are working, or the county is working on the general plan update, and they are working with a consultant. Before, it was kind of fast-tracked, and we were kind of told it was all going to be done within a year. That didn't happen. So we're into the second year, and yeah, we'll kind of see how it flows. Margot?
Can I add something to that?
Margot
When
is a general plan member, as well as Dan Terrell.
I heard from Director Turner today about when we might expect a draft of the general plan, and it will be released first to the tribes and then to the public and the general plan advisory committee, and I suppose also the local area plan advisory committee members. But right now, it's looking like a March, April release.
That's what she had told me too.
My concern is that doesn't seem to be enough time for real public input.
No, that's why I wanted to bring it forward ASAP, because she had told me actually she was hoping to be done with it by June. So, I wish that we had had more input from the people down here. So, go ahead. She's actually on the the area,
The Middletown area plan.
That's the one.
With several other people here in the room, including Shannon, and Bill. The general plan also the current general plan, which was adopted in 2008, can be found on the Lake County California.government website. So if you go to the website and you go to departments and go down to planning department, then in the left-hand column, it does list the general plan. You can just click on the general plan and that'll pop up, so you can then take a look at the current general plan.
That
get
website is
familiar.
actually lakecountyca.gov. Okay. Just a couple more little touch-ups as far as just kind of giving you guys some heads up. Tomorrow I'm meeting with some veterans, which I've been pretty involved with the veterans. Love our veterans. There's a new ad hoc committee for energy. I had been working separately on some energy ideas. So this was just formed on Tuesday, so we haven't really gotten into that, but it's looking for energy in the future for Lake County. One of the things I was wanting to bring up and suggest as well is a Firewise committee for the Middletown area. Hidden Valley does have one, Anderson Springs has one, but here in Middletown we do not. And it would really be nice if you want me to, I can help get it going. We are getting one going for Redbud or Clear Lake, and that would be the Lower Lake and Clear Lake area. So we just put that one together. So if that's something that the Middletown people would like to do, it would probably be shrewd to putting something like that together here in this area. Okay? Zoe?
Zoe Francisco, as far as the Firewise, it might help us also with our home
Insurance?
insurances, so
Yes.
that would be really helpful. Could I ask a quick question since I'm up here about the roads? Is there any more talk about our county roads and getting some repairing going with that?
You know what I've been asking everybody to do? We actually do have a really good public works department. And I've been asking people to fill out the work request online and CC me in it when you fill it out. That way, if you don't hear from anybody in a couple of weeks, contact me specifically, and I will contact the department. They've been getting on things, like right now, there's some big issues throughout the entire county, but I know we just were able to get some potholes filled, I believe it was on Jerusalem Valley. I mean, like the next day. So, but I know that the roads are huge, and I'm fighting for us. So we have to see where it's going to go. There's only so much money to go, for all the roads. And yes.
Communication is the first part of understanding each other. And the online idea is a great idea. And it was allegedly going to speed up everything. If anybody has taken time to apply for permits, any kind of permit or anything, I think you'll find that our engineer, for instance, tried to get a hold of Public Works, and we've been trying now for 90 days. They do not return emails. The only way we've been able to get a response is to copy Maria at the same time, and then she sees that we get an answer. But I question whether or not we have any employees in that building, because you can't go talk to anybody anymore. You got to do everything online, and it really makes it difficult because you can't talk to. If they don't respond, there's nobody to talk to.
Mm-hmm.
They don't answer emails. It's terrible, Helen. Just terrible.
Okay.
And
thank
you talk to any builder or anybody does the building process, you'll find the same thing. They're unresponsive, totally.
Okay.
And you could really help us there.
I don't mind doing it. What I'm asking is to leave that paper trail for me, so that I can see the complaints the same as they can. And if there's issues getting through the new system, the online, let me know what those are. Put in an email, put it to the department, and then CC myself in it. My email would be helen.owen@lakecountyca.gov. So if you can CC me in those, and if you don't get a response in a couple of weeks, let me know. And then I will go forward and ask as well. Would that work? Would that help?
Is there a last question for our supervisor? So we'll move on to the next item because our guys are back there waiting to tell us what the results are.
Yep, I'm done.
Okay. Thank you very much. Well, wait, you guys, because we have one more item before. So we have future agenda items. We just heard one to invite Maria Turner here. She is the director of the Community Development Department and also oversees building and planning and whatever else. So, yes.
I'd like for M.A.T.H to take up the project of developing, once again, a dog park at Trailside Park. We need a place for people to go and exercise their dogs, and that can be done pretty cheaply. We can get contractors to do most of it. I had them all online about 5 years ago or 6 years ago, and then the county dropped the ball on us. But if we could make that an agenda item to talk about that, I'd appreciate it.
Okay, any other agenda items? So we have the general plan. Yes, Linda.
Get the microphone. I just wanted to remind everybody that we want to have on the agenda at some point the naming of the park.
Okay, that was on the agenda in November, so I don't know what happened with it. Yeah. Yeah. Okay, any other agenda ideas? And I think, personally, I think that next month, as far with the board, whoever is seated on the board, that we should talk about kind of try to get a 5-6 month plan, moving forward. So if everybody's in agreement with that. So for next month's agenda, what is the preference of what would everybody like to see? We have Maria Turner, dog park, talk about that, talk about the naming the park, and the general plan, of course. What's that?
GPAC is the most urgent.
Yes, general plan.
Yeah, Maria Turner. Maria Turner should be the.
Okay,
the
so
topic.
I will
Yeah.
try to check with Maria to see if she's available next month to come and talk to us a little bit more about the general plan. And if she's not, we'll move on to making our 5-6 month plan and talking about the dog park and naming the park. How's that sound? Okay, I'm seeing consensus.
I disagree. I'm going to tell you why I disagree that we should have anybody, this group or any group, setting an agenda for 6 months. That's not what.
I didn't say set an agenda. I said talk about what we would like to do over the next 5 to 6 months. That we have a plan for not setting an agenda, not setting anything in solid down, but just an idea
Okay.
of where do we want to go, what do we want to be.
Let me ask a question. Will people be able to come and talk? Because
Yes.
they have not been able
Yes.
to talk here.
We've had a couple meetings now, Fletcher. Let me have that mic back. Let me have that mic
I'm
back.
not done.
We need to move on. It's 8:30, okay?
That's how it works here.
Well, that's it. So, but that's exactly it, Fletcher. I would like to have a meeting where we have an open discussion and we talk about what the group wants to do between now and 6 months from now. Okay? Somebody's grumpy. Thank you. Okay, we're gonna.
That's what I don't like. You want people to talk and then you cut them off.
Only you, sweetheart. I'm sorry. Okay, so we're going to move on to the exciting part where we're going to find out who, thank you, drum roll. Here, Ken, in case you want to add something.
Oh.
You guys are a team. Okay. And thank you very much, Ken and Dan, for doing this task. Appreciate your volunteering.
My pleasure. Thank you, Ken. His guidance through the whole process.
I
was
gave you a lot
amazing.
of guidance. Yes, that's right.
All right, top three. We'll just make it real quick. Shannon, Beth, and David are our top three. Give them a hand. Give them a hand. Do we want
Yes.
the next in line, Tara Ibarra? Next in line, give her a hand. Yeah.
Hey, Tara.
There is a tie for 5th place between Bill and Annette, so give them a hand. Nice job. Thanks. And thank you everybody for voting, and thank you everybody for sticking your neck out, and good luck.
Yeah. Congratulations, everyone.
Thank you, guys. Okay, so as stated before, then this body is to, according to our bylaws, we are supposed to elect the alternates now this evening. So we can choose to elect alternates if the 3 that did not get elected to the board, if they would like to serve as alternates. This body can decide to appoint the next 2 as alternates or nominate somebody from the floor. So first off, I'm going to ask Nanette, Bill, and Tara, are you willing to serve as an alternate?
Say yes.
Yes.
Okay, so all 3 say yes.
Forever alternate.
So we have a vote then because we have a tie, right? Is that what I heard? Okay, so what I'm going to do is ask all three of you if you would step outside the room, and then we're going to vote. And we'll be voting with a show of hands.
What do you need, two?
2 alternates?
Yes.
Yes.
Tara was, I don't know if it matters, but Tara
Tara-
would be these two.
First.
Right?
Correct.
She's in first.
Right.
Just to clarify. Okay.
Right.
So Tara's already an alternate
Yes.
then? So Tara is an alternate already, just like last year?
If the body so moves.
Okay.
It's. So, okay, so
Yeah.
first we're going to ask these 3 to step outside the room. And then we will move.
That's right, Tara.
I'm not sure what just happened about a motion or something.
Not a motion.
There's not, so moved. Somebody said so moved.
And I don't think it was
Bye, Bill. Okay, so moving on. So we do have the next up on the ballot, winning the most votes is Tara. So by show of hands, can we get a count of how many people would like to go ahead and vote Tara on as the alternate?
Are you going to ask for nominations first?
There's only 3.
No.
So we're going to go by
We've-
each one of them.
That's what I asked. We just nominate those three
She
people
already
that-
had the most votes.
Yeah,
No,
she.
I don't care.
We're just reaffirming it. Yeah. It's the other 2
Well,
we're
by-
worried about.
Yeah, by a show of hands. Okay, show of hands. Thanks. Okay, it's 1, 2, 3. And James doesn't want to vote.
It's his wife. Who's going to do the chairs if you don't vote?
Okay, thank you. So I have 16. And that's the bulk of the room. So I think Tara is an alternate, unless anybody opposes. Seeing none? Okay. So there is 1 alternate. Now we have our second seats. So we have Bill and Nanette juggling. Anybody, everybody okay with Bill or Nanette as the alternate? Or are we seeking more nominations from the floor?
Do we no longer talk about where people live?
No, we no longer talk about where people live. We talk about that we all love Middletown and our heart is here. And so anybody who loves Middletown and their heart is with it and wants to serve are serving. I'll give you a copy of the bylaws. We did away with all that line drawing. South Lake County Fire District.
Thank you.
Okay?
That is the rule.
Yes, it's South Lake County Fire District. Yes. So wait a sec. Linda has a question in the back.
I just want to say that I think either Bill or Nanette would be great, and I think we need to vote on it.
Okay. So the suggestion is that Bill or Nanette would be great as our second alternate, and we should move forward with the vote. By consensus, yes. Anybody no? Okay. So all in favor of Bill? Okay. And all in favor of Nanette? Definitely Nanette wins. Okay, so Nanette and Tara as our alternates for 2026. And the alternate serves for 1 year and of course fills in whenever we are lacking a quorum. Thank you all very much. We can invite them back in. Okay, and with that, so the group just did a hand vote for the two alternates. And Bill, I'd like to, at this time, thank you for your service on the board. So if everybody can. And Nanette and Tara have been elected, and again, it's close between the three of you here, but thank you very much. So, and thank you for your willingness to serve as alternates.
Monica, can I ask a question?
Yes?
Does the secretary have to be a board member, or can the secretary be a secretary without voting?
No, the secretary is a board member.
Yeah.
Yes, it's a board member.
We're gonna have to pick a new secretary.
Yeah, the question was, yeah, if the secretary has to be a board member, or it can be somebody else, but no, the secretary has to be a board member. So at this is something that the board will do on their own. We can do it at the next meeting, where the board will elect then the officers, which is basically the chair, the vice chair, and the secretary. So that's something that the board does. The assembly does not have a vote or a say in that. The board that you just elected will elect the chair, vice chair, and secretary.
Well, in the past, we've figured out the positions the same night, didn't we?
No, we usually do it the after. Yeah.
Okay, because I'm going to be gone in February. I'll be in Singapore for the February
Okay.
math meeting.
We
The only
only
one I
need-
ever miss, folks.
Okay. We will miss you, but we just need a quorum too. And I'm sorry that if you're gone and you get elected to something, welcome to secretary.
There's a reason I was pushing for Tara.
So with that,
Question, Madam.
yes?
I'll go here.
Okay.
Can the board elect officers prior to the new board being certified by the board of supervisors?
No.
So
Because the part of the approval is it's a two-step. We elect here, and then they have to be approved by the Board of Supervisors.
that's what I thought. So,
Yes, that's why we'll do it in
So
February.
the election of chairman, secretary, and so on will have to wait until we have a formal certified board. Is that correct?
Exactly.
Thank you.
Exactly. So, and I do need to give these forms to the alternates as well. You guys also need to fill these out.
They also have these digitally, I remember.
Yes. And you can go online and fill out this form, or you can fill it out and mail it. And the soonest you do that, that would be most appreciated, because the soonest they have all of them, then they will put the item on the agenda at the Board of Supervisors meeting. And then we can move forward in February. Okay. So, with that,
Motion to adjourn.
thank you. Thank you. All in favor? Aye. Thanks so much for being here, and again, Happy New Year.